It's your boy, Triple Black, aka the number one stunner, aka the boss, aka three black hearses. It's murder. But anyways, man, just on just want to get on here real quick. I haven't used Facebook Live in a long time. I was testing my equipment the other day, and I've been trying to grow my my business. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard on Facebook now because they want you to pay, for ads and stuff like that. So, the organic visibility that you could get before, you can't really get it anymore. So now you kind of almost have to create, either video content or that type of stuff to get, to get any type of views. I mean, I do stories and stuff like that, and it doesn't really resonate. But anyways, just wanted to, to come on here, because I gotta really start doing this content, pushing this content and stuff like that. So, how's everybody? On this good Wednesday, we got the weekend coming up, and that's gonna be, good. But let's talk about the FCRA. No viewers yet. But let's talk about the FCRA. What the FCRA is. Everybody has Chat GPT. I use the Chat GPT definition of the FCRA, but it's basically it gives you the right to challenge errors on your credit report. And I think it was a stat that said like 75% of the information that gets furnished to the three credit bureaus. I don't know if you guys know who the three credit bureaus are. You got TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And they furnish information, about you, about your credit history and things like that. A lot of people don't realize that these are three different corporations. They're not really they get the information from somewhere else, so they have to rely on third parties and things like that. But basically this is an act, the FCRA. It's mainly to protect the consumer. It was passed in 1970, to protect the consumer, and it basically regulates the credit reporting agencies and data finishers. So for instance, it regulates whether or not TransUnion can be reporting that you have this file or you have that file or whatever. But the purpose is to make sure that everything is accurate. And when I say everything is accurate, it has to be 100% accurate. So, it has to be 100% accurate, and also has to ensure privacy. And also it gives you the tools to dispute information that is inaccurate, which is a good thing, and it holds, creditors and bureaus and people like that, accountable. Because a lot of people don't know what the consumer laws is, and the thing about it is I think a lot of credit agencies and stuff like that, they actually bank on that ignorance because they don't want you to know what your rights are. A lot of people go through different things in life. They're gonna have trials and tribulations, financial trials and tribulations. So it's very important that they maintain the information that is correct. Okay. Consumer rights under the Credit Reporting Act is you're entitled to a free credit report every 12 months. Every 12 months from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, you're actually, you're entitled to it. So you can go to credit report, annualcreditreport.com and get all three bureaus there. And it also has a couple mechanisms that you can, if you want to, you can dispute the information too. Like also it has, you have the right to have the information report accurately. It's just not when I say accurately, not 90%, not 95%, it's 100%. 100% accuracy. That's what it demands. Okay, and you have the right to dispute that. You can do it a couple different ways. The most effective way of doing the disputes is probably by hand, because they use a lot of AI software. So when you go online and you do the disputes online and stuff like that, a lot of times now that they're highly ineffective because it just automatically goes through a prompt and it gets maybe I should have used StreamYard because I don't see one viewer, and on StreamYard at least viewers were coming through or whatever. But anyways, it has a right to your right to for privacy because you have what do you call it, jobs and things like that, so you want to make sure that your information is private, and in its reporting thing, and any adverse action to which the FCRA covers, it does cover that anytime something becomes adverse on your credit report, they must notify you. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that they can notify you, but you do have the right to get notified. Some people use Credit Karma, some people use freecreditreport.com, which are three basic ones that can get you your credit information. Yeah. But there's also limitations on debt. I mean, there's limitations on debt. First, like negative items like late payments and collections and stuff like that, they do fall off your report after 7 years. But the one thing that you have to know is, when you do any renegotiations or any type of settlements, those type of activities can reset the clock or re-age the debt. For instance, if you owed something for 5 years and it was in collection for 5 years, you decided, hey, you know what, let me start making some payments on this. From the time you make the payment, that's when it gets re-aged. So that is you got to be cognizant of that. And then you have other things like bankruptcies, which take about 10 years. They take about 10 years. They can report for 10 years. One thing about people don't know about bankruptcies and why it's not really good to file bankruptcy is to because it stays on your historic credit report base. Basically, some lenders use that information because that information stays with you forever, and you can only do it I think you can only file twice. I think the president broke that rule a couple of times. I don't know, but the three. But you have hard inquiries, and what are hard inquiries is like anytime you apply for something, those things get recorded. And the reason, the significance of that is why people they put that is I guess it kind of tells. If you're a person that's applying for a whole bunch of stuff and you're getting denied all over the place, it kind of tells the data furnishers and the creditors or whoever that you may not, you may be a little bit of a risk. But think I'm gonna use StreamYard next time because I literally don't got any viewers at all, which is fine. Because I think I don't know. I don't know if it's just Facebook kind of. I think they do. I really think that they make it a point to kind of block the free stuff, but I'll use I'll probably just use StreamYard next time. But anyways, who must comply? Who must comply? The people that must comply is the credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. The furnishers, the banks, the debt collectors who report to the credit bureau, and the users of the report, employers, insurers, landlords, creditors. You'll be surprised on who actually goes and gets your information. One thing that I would definitely do, especially if you haven't done it in a while, is go to annualcreditreport.com. I offer a free analysis. I can kind of navigate that and tell you what looks bad, what looks good, and things like that. So you want to dispute inaccuracies. You can do it yourself, or you can have a professional do it. It's up to you, but I would definitely not let it go unchecked. And just know your rights. Also monitor for fraudulent and things like that, because a lot of people getting taken advantage of. Especially with the past COVID, you had what do you call it? The PPP scams and stuff like that. A lot of people, including myself, got caught in the crosshairs of that. So you definitely want to do that. My closing thoughts is it's a credit repair. Credit is like a financial resume. You want to make sure that it's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if you had a real resume and you didn't work at a job, or you worked at a job and you did get credit for it. So it's very important to do that. So I'll stay on here. If you guys have any questions, you can always inbox me. You can give me a call at 239-315-1205. And you can also hit me on Instagram, TripleBlack239. Also, my email address is johnsonmarseille@gmail.com. If you have any questions or concerns and things like that. Again, I do offer a free credit analysis. Anytime you want to, you just have any basic questions in one of the other questions I can answer too is, I have been in banking for over 18 years. If you have any questions on the lending processes and, the different type of credit cards, any credit questions and things like that, I can always answer that for you. So, please let me know. There's also hit a like if you can. Hit a like. Also, hit stars button or whoever. The distribution. Let me see. Hit the share button if you can. Like, share, and listen. But anyways, one other thing that I want to talk about, let me look at my bullet points real quick. Is understanding FICO, FICO. there's a couple of different FICO scores that people that are very important in understanding how it works. I think is very important because a lot of time people get caught up and they be like, oh yeah, they have one score and they think it's the end all and be all. A lot of different whether you're buying a car or you're buying a house, it's treated different. There's some people that can actually get a house with a 580, and there's some people with an 850 that can't get a house. It's much more in depth than what you think. So you have to keep that in mind. And I think understanding some of those things, I think from a long-term perspective, not only for you, but your family, and everything like that is very important to understand. So, yeah, I've been doing this for about 3 months, but I actually been doing this for way longer than that. I just, came back full time, helping people with this for the last 3 months. So, know the power of it. Know the power of it. But I've been on here for about 15 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the live score. But my phone number is 239-315-1205. You can also hit me on Instagram. It's at tripleblack239 tripleblack239. You can also hit me on the DMs here on Facebook at Roy Noir. but most people know me by Johnson, but Roy Noir is what I use. But give me a holler.